is
Russia
becoming,
representative
through the efforts
UN.
made by Ukraine and its Western backers, into a Groundhog Day of sorts. It's as if yesterday the representative of Kiev was not sitting in the same chair and didn't try to put forward the talking points of Ukrainian propaganda about the bloodthirsty Russia in its plans to subjugate the neighboring country, and as if the European sponsors of the regime was not reading through their talking points about how Moscow is not ready for peace. Their senseless mantras about how Moscow is not ready for peace. Colleagues, why couldn't we discuss the topic of the meeting yesterday? Especially since the tragedy in Kiev, which is being mentioned in the letter sent by the Ukrainian PR, happened in the early hours of the 31st of July. The Ukrainian representative yesterday essentially voiced her version of what happened, as predictable as it was. Does the Council accept such an inept waste of its time and resources on other issues on its agenda? Imagine that we had a situation on the country situation and then decided that we had forgotten to discuss one aspect and then reconvened on the next day to discuss that. We think that such an approach of the Western sponsors of the Kiev regime is irresponsible, unacceptable, and seriously undermining the credibility of the Council and its ability to tackle with indeed urgent crises. And they have the temerity of accusing my country of wasting the working time of Security Council members. Furthermore, when they condone the attempts of the Kiev regime to separate the discussions of the Ukrainian crisis into right discussions and wrong discussions, the Western delegations do show the very same wish to undermine the efforts for peace in Ukraine, which we describe in our statements, including my statements yesterday. Mr. President, if we go back to the formal reason for the convening of the meeting today, well, in the early hours of the 31st of July, the armed forces of Russia, pursuing the goal of demilitarizing Ukraine, did indeed deliver a group strike using a long-range, high-precision weapons and UAVs on military-industrial facilities of Ukraine, including a military airfield, ammunition depots, stocks of missiles, and UAV components. All of the intended military targets were hit. And let me underscore once again, we're talking about objects which are related to the Ukraine military potential. And this was confirmed by the videos by Ukrainian users in social